welcome to Hedgehog Hollow here at Creativation 2019. We are here in the Brother booth with Julie, Faith and Balzer, and she's going to be showing us the amazing new Brother Scan and Cut DX. So Julie, tell us all about it.
So I've always loved the Scan and Cut, but the Scan and Cut DX has so many amazing new features, which I'm really excited to show you. So the first is, like any scan and cut, you can take a design, whether you print it out or draw it yourself, you can scan it in and the machine will create a cut file for you, which you can either cut at the exact same size, so it identically matches, of course, out of the material that you wish, or you can use the onboard editing features in order to change it over to a larger size. It's really whatever your pleasure. But the scanner is not done just with creating cut files. You can, of course, take any pattern paper and the scanner can help you cut out your designs. This also works with your stamped images, and again, also works with things that you print out, but it makes crafting so easy. But the thing I'm really excited to show you is that the DX has two things I think, well, it has like 18 things I think you're gonna like, but the two things I really wanna talk about are the fact that it will cut up to 3 millimeters. So that's really thick material. I have this really thick felt on my mat. And I'm actually going to show you the third type of scanning that this machine can do, which is called a background scan. So even though this piece of felt looks like it's used, and you might think that it's trash, it's not. So I'm going to use one of the 600 built-in designs in this machine to go ahead and start my first cut. So I can navigate really easily on the large touch screen, and I can see everything visually laid out for me. So if you're a visual person, it's super easy, it's not intimidating, it's one of those things that anybody can use. I can resize and adjust things as I wish. Now I promised you that there'd be a background scan. So what that means is I'm going to scan in this piece of felt that looks like a piece of garbage, and I'm going to show you that you can save all your materials, that the Scan and Cut is really going to help you conserve those materials because you are going to be able to use it every last tiny little bit, because right here on this big LCD screen, I'm going to be able to see what I have just scanned. And there it is, just like that. So I can take my piece and I can try to find a place for it. Now the other nice thing is I can also edit the size. And you know, I like anything that is customizable. Maybe that means I'm selfish, but I like things that I can really make my own. Now the nice thing too is if this is too dark for you for some reason and you want to make it into a lighter scan, you can go ahead and do that. You can actually use this little wrench tool and you can make it lighter. So if you have like a piece of black fabric or something, it just brings a little bit more clarity there. So once it's set with the brand new auto blade, I don't have to tell it what material I'm using. I just tell it what I want to do. And baby, I want to cut. So I'm going to press cut, press start, and in less than a minute, this very thick 3 millimeter felt is going to cut out with the auto blade without me even having to think about it, change anything, worry about it. I can be the laziest crafter ever. And while we wait, I will just point out, I'm going to take this piece of paper, this holy piece of paper, and I'm going to actually be able to do the exact same thing. And I will not change the settings in any way. I can just use the background scan to make sure that I'm able to place it exactly where I want on my material. Would you mind handing me that mat? I love crafting with a friend because you get assistance. I never have this at home, right? So I'm just going to place it down, and I like to use this scraper tool to just put it down, but I can hear that the machine is already done, which is super exciting. So let me just pop this out for 1 second. Let's peel this away. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. And here, let me see if I can get the dimension on here. Can you see sort of how thick that is? It's really, really thick felt, okay? So that cuts so easily, and then I'm just taking this piece of paper. I'm a really messy crafter, by the way, so the table's gonna look like 18 people were here. But I'm gonna take the exact same piece of paper. The auto blade is so smart that all I'm now gonna have to do is tell it where I want it to cut. So I'm gonna scan in my piece of paper, but I'm not gonna have to adjust anything in any way, shape, or form, which I really love, and it really makes me happy because it just makes all my crafting time easy, quick, efficient, no wasted materials or anything else like that. And you can see that, you know, the mats are just sticky and they're holding onto your paper or your materials, so you don't have to pre-treat it in any way. So I can see it here on the screen. I can place my cut, no adjustment to the blade whatsoever. I'm going to select cut, press start. And the amazing thing to me is this machine is so whisper quiet. You probably can't tell because I can't stop talking, because that's just the way that I'm wired. But once it tests the depth of that material, you will barely be able to hear it. This is crafting you can do while the baby's sleeping. It's crafting you can do while your husband's in the other room. It is crafting you can do while you're on speakerphone with your mother. Ask me how I know. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off and check it out. I didn't have to change anything, and I can cut this really thin piece of paper.
Awesome, because we all buy these foil papers and they're expensive, and it means that we can save our supplies and make them go even further.
Yeah, it's really great. And the storage compartments that are in this machine, which allow you to store all your tools, and I know you know this, Alexandra, they do double duty, because these little holes, we're going to show you next how you can attach the roll feeder so you can do matless cutting up to 6 feet. We've moved over to this machine, which is already set up with the roll feeder. Same exact machine, just has the roll feeder on it. Now from my PC and Canvas Workspace, I have sent over a design, and so all I have to do is press start, and you'll see it's going to cut this roll of vinyl. Now we have it set to cut 3 feet of vinyl, but it will cut up to 6 feet. And the matless cutting, the way it works is the machine's on something called half cut. You can imagine, because when you cut vinyl, you only want to cut halfway through. So that's basically what it's doing, and it's just going to start moving around. And basically the paper backing of the vinyl acts as the mat, which I think makes it cool and easy, and you don't have to think about it. It is, and of course, if you will help me, what happens is, and again, this is 3 feet of, we have to get away from each other, let's see, but this is 3 feet of vinyl, and you can cut 6 feet, which would be twice this length, which would be absolutely enormous. And again, you can use custom designs of any kinds. I've done some that say Julie is awesome. Other people might want to too, I don't know. But you really can customize and do absolutely anything that you want. These are great for like home decor. I like the idea of throwing a party for somebody. You can use all kinds of temporary craft adhesive. Put it up in your room, put it up in your studio. Again, I tend to put Julie on everything, quite obviously. And actually, I was going to say my apron was done with the Scan and Cut, because the Scan and Cut will do rhinestones. So it is like, if you want to cut vinyl, you can cut vinyl. If you want to cut rhinestones, you can cut rhinestones. If you want to cut paper, you can cut paper foam. And the other thing is you can get your files into the machine so many ways. We just showed people how you can go from your PC. I've got a very sexy cord right here that's connecting it to the machine, but I can also use a USB thumb drive. The machines, the DXs, all come wirelessly activated, so I can send things wirelessly over. There are also more than 600 built-in designs in the machine, so you can do that. You can also scan in any design that you want, see it, scan it, cut it, create it. You've got it with the Scan and Cut. So it really is for a crafter. When people come for a demo at the booth, what I always say to them is I say, I can give you a 2-hour demo because this machine can do so much, but what is it that you want to do? And let me give you the demo on how exactly to do that. And I know you're a huge fan of vinyl.
Yes.
And you do a ton of really cool vinyl crafts. So you know how fun it is to be able to personalize, give that touch, something special to somebody, t-shirts, tote bags, your kids' handwriting, whatever it is. I've even taken a drawing that someone who felt like they were not a great artist did. But somehow when you enlarge it and put it on a t-shirt for them, they're like, I did that. So I feel like it's actually a thing that can empower you to feel like you are creative, you are an artist, all that kind of stuff. And of course, it's easy, which I love.
Exactly. I actually made all of my design team girls who are here at Creativation, I made them aprons and I cut HTV using my scan and cut home. And I put it on an apron for them.
That's so
So I put the
cute.
Hedgehog hollow on there and I made it for them and brought them with me. So yeah, you can really do anything with it.
You can, and I'm getting married, and I know that we've already planned half the wedding is like courtesy of Scan and Cut. We are making favors. We are doing table decor, invitations. Like it just goes on and on. Because of course you can use the foiling kit to make things shiny, and who doesn't like things that are shiny? And of course you can stamp with the stamping kit, the rhinestone kit. There's all sorts of add-ons and things you can do. And one of my favorite things, we've mentioned very briefly Canvas Workspace. So that is an entirely free online site. It is also an application that you can download to your Mac or PC. And there are 3 or 4 new designs every single month that are completely free, and they're projects from start to finish. You get instructions and all the cut files. It's pretty amazing.
They really are. There's some really fun projects.
Well, I always feel like the Scan and Cut makes me a better crafter, or it makes me look like a better crafter, which I really need. So, you know, I'm not very neat, but this makes me seem like I actually am neat. And of course, because Brother's a sewing company, it's completely compatible with your Brother's sewing machine. So if you have PES embroidery files or anything like that, you can, you know, use the appliques from them with your Scan and Cut and then bring it on over to your embroidery machine. So it's really cool. It's a whole family, really, of crafting for your craft room.
Yep. So whatever you do, it kind of all works together nicely, which is
Yeah,
great.
it does. And I really appreciate that. And I also appreciate that Brother takes their customer feedback seriously. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in the booth, because people come by all the time and they say, oh my gosh, it's like they heard what I was asking for the last time. The auto blade is a great example of that. That was the thing that people most requested, was not to have to adjust the blade. And so, you know what? They figured it out.
Yeah. Oh, just a second though. This was great.
Yes.
I love this.
Well, I love that everything's labeled here,
Yeah.
because you can see that it can cut so many materials. So may I steal this from
Of
you
course
for
you
1
can.
minute?
Yes.
So if we look at this is a plastic board. This is, I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, but propylene sheet. This is a styrene board. You know, you want to cut gasket for important reasons that I don't understand. You know, whatever it is, glitter iron-on, all this kind of stuff, all these different things is balsa wood. You can do wood veneer paper, watercolor paper, patterned scrapbook paper, wood grain, you know, vinyl board. I mean, look how thick that is. That is crazy to me. And you know, one of the things I love is people at the show always come up to me with weird things and say, can you cut this? This is fabric with a fusible backing on it. There's all sorts of plastic sheets, clear oilcloth, vinyl tablecloth. I mean, a problem, of course, is you'll go around your house and suddenly cut holes in everything. But artificial leather, actual leather, you know, ultra suede, all sorts of fun stuff. This is real leather, and that is super thick. That is 2 millimeters, and that's crazy. Like to make a bullet journal or a planner or anything like that, a Midori. You can use your corrugated paper, pretty sexy. All sorts of other plastics. I love to make stencils on this machine. It's absolutely fantastic.
Awesome idea.
Illustration board, which would also be good for mats and stuff like that if you're doing mat board. All sorts of, these are thermoplastic sheets that people use for cosplay. Chipboard. I mean, it's like I can keep flipping forever and ever.
It just gets thicker and thicker and
so
thicker.
many cool things. Now, let me show you one other feature about the roll feeder that I think is really cool, which is there is hidden in this roll feeder something secret. So I'm going to say finish, and I'm going to say okay, and it's going to come in right here, hidden on the end of the machine in plain sight. Dun, 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 is a cutter. This little thing here, this is a cutter. So what you do is you can see there's a hole here and a hole here, or a peg here, and a peg here, right? So if you put the hole on the peg and the hole on the peg, that's in the perfect position. Then I'm simply going to take my blade. This is not hard to push. You can use one finger. You go right across, and now your vinyl has been perfectly cut. Almost exactly. This is the end of the cut here. So you're really conserving your materials, and then in terms of storing it, it's so easy because it stores right in place. So then when I'm done and I'm trimmed, it's going to unroll my material, which you can see. Now, if you've never cut vinyl, I know what you're thinking. Julie, you were a liar. This didn't cut anything. But remember when I said it was only going to do half cut? So if I weed it It just came off. So all I do is I weed this material until it looks like that one over there. And soon enough, I can have up to 6 feet of continuously cut vinyl with the Scan and Cut. Just so many possibilities for making happy, crafty things.
Well, thank you so much, Julie, for telling us all about these new features and the new machine, of course.
My pleasure.
Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for all of our videos from Creativation 2019. Give us a thumbs up as well, and we'd love if you left us a comment to let us know your favorite feature that Julie has shown you today, and we'll see you again very soon. Happy stamping, everyone. Bye.